Hi, welcome back. I'm Richard's Painter. Today I thought I would take you through my flat and polishing denibbing trolley, if you like. I've seen other people's and I was like, right, well, we're all different. We've all got different brands that we like, and some people like to try every single thing that comes out new on the market. Some people like to stick with what they know. Some people are adamant one's better than the other. Some people are adamant they're not as good when they first came out as they are now, and all this sort of jazz. Personally, I prefer the Freckler brand. I'm just going to have to turn you round so you can see. Hopefully that makes sense. I will try and move that in a moment. Let's move it anyway. You can see what we're doing, and hopefully. So I don't know if that's there you can see, can't you? Not that you can talk back to me, but you know what I mean. So basically I use the Freckler brand for most of their bits and pieces, their polishing stuff, their pads. I've been using these film discs. These are the Galaxy ones. Found them alright, and they've got extraction, which is nice. Tend to last reasonably well. So let's take you through what I've got here. Let's just unclip that for a moment. There we go. So basically I have the 360 compound red top. Now on the back of these they recommend there's 3 different pads. There's a wool pad. Just click that back on there. I can't see where I'm pointing. There we go. There's a wool pad, a white pad and a yellow pad. Now the wool pad, if I'm honest, I haven't had, get that around there, I haven't had much joys with the wool pad. It works, and then some people say you're supposed to use it slower, some people faster. But to get clear coat to polish, you need a bit of heat in it, so you always want to be doing it a bit faster anyway. So it does work to a degree, personally anyway. Everybody will have their own opinion on it, obviously. But basically what I do is I tend to jump straight for the white pad, which is one of their Freckler pads, is also on there as well. You can see there, the second one down. Now they go from the wool pad to the white pad to the yellow pad. That's your yellow pads, clearly used. I've got the code there. There's a new box actually. If anybody wants that one, that's the white pad. So the white pad turns up quite hard, but then as soon as it gets warmed up it softens. It's actually a really nice pad. It's fairly good, decent cut on it. The wool pad had a decent cut, to be fair. It just never really got on with it, that's all. So say if I was got a little dirt nib and a bit of paint or something like that, I've got various ways I can deal with that. So I've got a bit of wet and dry, 2000 and 1500, and I use them on these little blocks. There's your traditional old school rubber block. That's just a Jura block. I tend to use it because it's got a really hard edge, so if you're doing something near an edge, tend to be good at that. These I think are amazing. Now my supplier locally didn't have these, so I had to get that off the internet. But if you want one, eBay, that's where I found that. And then if I'm just denibbing, I've got the AC Delco buffer. It's just a rotary buffer, but for polishing back a blow-in or denibbing or something like that, it's perfect for that. or if you just painted something and you just want to buff the edge, or if you're buffing an area to check a colour, it's perfect. Comes with I like the red pad on this. It's a little bit harder, so it polishes up a bit faster. And then we can go down the range as well. So we've got in here we've got the black ones, press the G ones. So again, that red one's quite coarse. So if it's a dark coloured vehicle or something like that, and you're a bit unsure about holograms and leaving marks, the rotary will leave quite a bit of marks on there if you're not careful. So I normally flick over with a soft pad afterwards. I think these are the yellow ones. I think what happened was I always used to use yellow, then the red came out, they didn't have any yellow, so I had to buy red. I liked the red, then when I phoned back up for more red, they didn't have the red in stock, they've only got the yellow. So the next 5 goes, if you like, they're all going to be yellow, which basically means it'll take a tad longer, but I probably will get away without using the black pad. So swings and roundabout bonuses and all that. So this stuff I bought, as you can tell, a very, very long time ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I just used it on that dark coloured car that's being a pain. If you know, you know. So I'll show you in a minute, but I use a different pad for that, and just try and very gently put that in, clean it off, and hopefully we've not marked it and got rid of all holograms and stuff like that. But it's mainly on darker colour cars, on something that somebody would be sort of precious about, if you like. So that's a glaze, it's just like a gloss enhancer. Sometimes we'll get a job in and it'll be, I don't know, paint a couple of bumpers and colour code the wing mirrors or something daft, and then give it a polish, and then we'll just fly over, with a glaze in that as well, just keep it nice. Again, I haven't used that for a long time either, because I got put onto the Canuba wax. Now, for anybody that's had medicine when they were younger, that banana, it smells exactly the same as what that did, so that was quite cool. Little things, eh? So wet flatting, we're on the Merca Galaxy at the minute, 1500s. They're the 1000. Now the 1000 I would normally use for like prepping. We've got I'll show you the interface pad in a minute, slightly different interface pad. And then we use them for prepping out panels and stuff like that. So I wouldn't necessarily use that for flattening and polishing unless I've really had to, but it's unlikely. Yeah, then we've got 2000s. We've got 1000, 2000, 1500. These are the Starkey ones, I think. Yeah, so we use these again mainly for a bit of prepping. Just pop them back in there. Yeah, mainly for a bit of prepping. My big buffer, I've got the Freckler. I don't know the model number on it, I don't think. Or is it? Let's have a look. Yeah, if you've used one, you'll know what I mean. Absolute game changer compared to the other ones. It's light, it's quiet. The Rubes one is really noisy and rattly. Almost sounds like they're knackered when they're not. Whereas this is like super quiet, smooth compared to them anyway. So next drawer down, we've got our sort of backup pads, if you like. So we've got a pack of yellows. We've got a pack of blacks, big ones. Again, mainly for like a big job. We've got what they call a waffle pad. A bit like what I'm doing at the moment. That looks like that. which is pretty cool. Now this is super soft, like ridiculously soft. Now I would use that mainly for, sorry about that camera there, I would mainly use that for like wax, or if I've got a dark coloured car that was being a pain, if you like. We'll sort that out in a minute. Pop that back up there. So this is the wool pad. If you can see that, GMC 650. That's the wool pad. Now it does work. It's just I don't really like using it so much. I'll show you the code anyway. Comes in the same box. Sort that out in a minute as well. So we've just got a wax applicator. Just if you're putting that banana canuba wax on something. That's another wax pad. That one's called the knuckle duster. Got a spare interface pad there for the DA. I'll just put that one back in there, 1 second. Got an OCD problem, and if I don't put it back, it'll bug me. There we go. So interface pad wise, these are basically them. So it's like a pad protector, if you like, but it's very, very thin. If you can see that on there, it's like a few mil thick. These are what they call Trizacs. So these are, I get these in 3000s. For every big job that we do, full paint, I would just buy a new one for each job and allow it to each job. So we're on the process of, that's for the next job, if you like. Now that will do, depending on the size of the car, that will do 2 or 3 cars probably, depending on how you're using it and everything. So, but for every big job, like we've got quite a lot of full paints coming. So for each full paint, it'll get a new one of these. But then it'll go back in the trolley, and then we'll use it a few times on some normal retail trade work type thing, if needed. So, but they're very expensive to buy like that. It's just, I probably should buy a box really. I probably buy enough to warrant buying a box, the amount we use in a year, but it's just that first. I don't like spending that much money in one go for some pads, and then if it's just you that's using them, if you're paying for them, you'll know what I mean. If it's just you that's using them, you know you'll use it to a certain extent and then throw it away. Whereas anybody that doesn't pay for them, that works for you, they might not be as, they might just go, oh, we need new ones. Whereas I'm trying to look after the pennies. So on the side here, turn you back down again. And if you can see them or not very well, we'll get out onto the camera. So that, I just keep on there, that's that WD-40, it's not WD-40, it's SAS spray. But that just stays on that trolley all the time. That's my water-based cleaner, so that we would use, that's like a degreaser if you like, that's a MIPA product. If anybody's interested, I can show you that. Believe it or not, that's soapy water. Soapy water, and we've got a tar and glue. Tar and glue is quite good because when you're prepping, that's good because that'll get rid of any greases and crap, if you like. The tar and glue is very good around the lowers of doors and sills and stuff like that, where all the tar collects. So you can give it a quick spray and a quick clean. With paintwork, you cannot be, there's no such thing as being too clean. the cleaner you are, the better the paint job's going to turn out. The cleaner the paint job, the less flat and polishing, the less issues potentially down the road. Nobody wants, you know, silicons and all that sort of jazz in the paint, not if you can help it. So normally if you get a trade job in, it's all been slicked up and everything like that. So we know, we've seen it, and we'll scrub it in a certain way. So we would use something like that as well, scuff stuff with a scotch pad, scrub everything, with degrease everything, tar and glue everything. But some of them cars that have been washed that many times with all that fillers and stuff like that, the crappy stuff, makes your car look nice for a couple of months, but it's no good if you're going to paint it. That's why I tell any traders that I do any work for that don't wash them. If you need to give it a quick wash so you can see what paintwork you need, give it a quick wash to see what paintwork you need, but don't be slicking the tyres up and all that sort of jazz, you know. Let me do the paintwork, let me do my polishing, whatever I need to do. Take it back, knock yourself out, slick the tyres up, do what you need to do. Plus it's just, yeah, it's not good. You end up scrubbing it to death sometimes, you know, because you can feel it, it's horrible and gross. But that's a whole nother video. Flat and polishing, you can either do it by hand with your pads that I've already shown you, wet and dry papers. I've already showed you the interface pad, and that's a Trizac, but this is the Merker. So this one has a finer orbit. This is a 2.5mm orbit. You can always normally tell them apart because one is orange and gold. The 5mm orbit are generally got a silver lever. So that will, it can still produce a pigtail because it oscillates, dual action, but not as bad as a 5. Now a 5 you would use for ripping filler back, taking paint off or something, but a 2.5 is mainly for that, refinishing if you like. It would probably be too slow if you was going to use that for filler work. You'd be there all day trying to sand stuff and that'd be boring. So basically, yeah, that's my trolley, that's my flatten and polishing trolley. I might do another video. I've got 2 different types of sanding trolleys. So I've got one with the main blocks on and kind of prep stuff, caramel wheels, that type of thing. And we've got another one with a hoover attached with DAs and stuff like that. So we'll do 2 of them. Or I'll show you them, should I say. Right. I've swapped over to decaf coffee. I'm gonna keep yawning now. Right, well that's it for me today anyway. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you're interested. And yeah, that's it for now. Go out and be great, as they say, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.